first thing I heard that morning was the ringtone. Just my mom's phone buzzing softly on the nightstand. It was 7:42 a.m., still foggy and cold outside. Mom stirred beside me, hair tangled, eyes puffy from crying. She reached for the phone and answered on the second ring, voice dry and hoarse. "Hello." A moment passed, and then the smallest voice lit up the room like a match in a cave. "Mommy, are you coming to get me today?" My chest tightened. It was my little sister, Ava. She has this voice that just melts fear, like sunshine after a storm. No matter how bad things got, Ava had a way of making it feel like maybe, just maybe, everything would be okay. She didn't know anything. The day it all started, the night I ran out to the Lintons. Mom had dropped Ava off at Grandma and Grandpa's house. She'd had a play date earlier that day, and we were supposed to all go to our grandparents' house. With two of her younger cousins, we would spend few days at our grandparents' place. It was a tradition, a break from home. Games, stories, fresh pancakes, Grandpa's creaky armchair that no one else was allowed to sit in. But it all changed the moment I called Mom. Panicking, whispering, telling her someone was in the basement. She heard the fear in my voice, and that's when she made a split-second decision. Instead of coming straight home, she dropped Ava off at her grandparents' house first. Fast, quiet, no explanation, and then drove straight back home. She had no idea she was walking into a horrific trauma. Now, hearing Ava's voice, cheerful and happy, felt surreal. She went on, completely unaware of the quiet panic in the room. Grandpa made pancakes, and I made a crown with Grandma. Can I bring it home? Mom forced a smile. Her voice cracked, but she held it together. Of course, baby. You can bring anything you want. Okay, tell Danny he still owes me a rematch. I smiled, truly smiled, for the first time in what felt like forever. She didn't stop there. She insisted on talking to everyone. First me, then Mom again, even Dad, who hasn't really spoken since everything began. "Hi, Dad," she chirped, and something in his face changed. His shoulders lowered, his jaw loosened. He blinked like he was waking up from something deep. "Hi, Pumpkin," he said softly. "You being good?" "Yes." Grandma said I can sleep in the big bed tonight. And Grandpa said I'm in charge of the remote. Dad gave the smallest laugh. A real one. The first sound of life from him since everything started. When the call ended, the silence returned, but it was different now. Not thick and haunted, just quiet, like a fresh breath after holding it too long. Mom slid the phone onto the dresser and wiped her face. Later that day, Dad boarded up the closet, nailed it shut. He didn't speak much while he did it, just hammering silently, jaw clenched like he was trying to hold his sanity together with every swing. Mom kept pretending everything was okay, like if she didn't say the word ghost or demon, wouldn't be real. She walked around with this fake smile like she was in a school play, but I could see it in her eyes. She hadn't slept either. As for me, I stopped going near the basement. Wouldn't even walk past the hallway. Milo stayed, glued to my side, which was the only thing keeping me from completely losing it. But even with the closet sealed, even with the hallway avoided, it didn't stop. It just changed. Everything was kind of feeling normal again. But 2 nights later, it came back. It was 1:08 a.m. I was lying on a mattress in my parents' room again, staring at the ceiling, Milo snoring at my feet. Then I heard it. Not in my room, not in the hallway, not even from the basement. I heard it in the bathroom, that quiet, deliberate click of the doorknob turning. My eyes snapped to the door. It opened slowly. I sat up, heart pounding, and turned to my mom. She was asleep. Dad, too. The bathroom door opened another inch. No creak, no wind, no footsteps, and then the light inside turned on. Flickered, just once. I shook Mom's arm. "Mom, wake up." It's in the bathroom. She woke slowly, groggy. What? The door. It opened. Something's in there. She turned to look, her sleep fading instantly. We both watched. The light turned off. Then we heard the sound. Not footsteps. Dragging. Like something pulling itself across the tiles. Dad sat up, rubbing his face. What's going on now? And then he heard it too. The dragging stopped. Right at the edge of the doorframe. Dad grabbed the bat from beside the bed. Walked toward the bathroom. Slow and stiff. Like someone heading to their own execution. He flipped on the light. Nothing. No one was there. The floor was dry. The curtain was open. But on the fogged-up mirror, even though no one had taken a shower, were 3 words. I like her. Mom saw it too. She gasped and grabbed me. Dad didn't say anything. He just stared. Then, without a word, he slammed the bathroom door shut and slid the dresser in front of it. That night, we left the house. My parents said they will take me to my grandparents' place to stay there with my sister. But I refused. Something in me didn't just want to leave my parents alone. I know the pain they were going through. Being haunted in a house we have stayed our whole lives just felt so sad. We stayed at a hotel near where Dad works. 1 room, 2 beds, TV on all night, lights on. Even Milo seemed relieved. We thought we were safe. That maybe distance meant protection, but we didn't know what we were dealing with. It wasn't the house. It was us. The next night, something worse happened. We were all finally sleeping for once. The tension had eased just a little. That's probably why I chose then. I woke up to Mom screaming. Hi. Sharp. Broken. I jumped up. Dad was already out of bed, yelling her name. She was in the corner of the room, on the floor, clutching her leg and crying like something had just torn into her. There were deep scratches running from her ankle to her thigh. 3 of them, bleeding, swollen, as if made by fingers. Dad rushed to her. What happened? What the hell happened? She was gasping, hysterical. I saw it. I saw it. In the mirror. It was standing behind me. Then something grabbed me. She couldn't finish. We took her to the ER. The nurse kept asking what kind of animal did it. A raccoon? A cat? But none of it fit. It wasn't an animal. I knew it. It was getting stronger, bolder, and now it wasn't hiding anymore. We tried going back home the next day, thinking maybe the hotel was worse. Dad was thinking of bringing a priest to the house. We finally arrived home, no much talking, just eyes glancing through the house like we had never been there before. The closet was still nailed shut, yes, but that didn't stop the knocking from the inside. At 2:17 a.m., 3 knocks, every single night, at that particular time, like it was waiting for someone to answer. We were somehow getting used to the knocks. But one night it stopped knocking, and that's what scared me most, because at exactly 2:17 a.m., I opened my eyes and saw something move at the foot of my mattress. It was tall, thin, not solid, more like a shadow, stitched into the air, bent forward, watching. It didn't speak. It didn't move. It just stood there. I couldn't breathe, couldn't blink, couldn't scream. It leaned down, slowly, and then, in the exact voice I heard the first day, it said something I will never forget. He let me in, and I finally screamed at the top of my voice. I don't think I've ever screamed that hard my entire life. My parents snapped awake instantly, with fear and concern written all over their faces. They rushed to me instantly. What happened? My dad said. My mom was panicking so hard I could feel her hand shaking. I couldn't even speak. I just pointed my hands toward the area I saw it.